Welcome to our video service. We hope you enjoy the service as we offer praise and worship to the Lord Jesus Christ. If you live in the Crowthorne area, we would love to meet you. You can find the church next to the library in the middle of the High Street. The morning service starts at 10:30.
It says Matthew 6, but it's actually Matthew 16, beginning to read at verse 13. Peter declares that Jesus is the Messiah. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist. Others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." And then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. From that time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and on the third day raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. "Never, Lord," he said, "this shall never happen to you." Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? For the Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what they have done. Truly, I tell you, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
Thank you, Philip. Who is Jesus? This is the third of our messages throughout the season of Lent. Imagine you're walking with Jesus and the disciples, and you're nearing this place called Caesarea Philippi, and it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, and you're with Jesus, and you haven't got a care in the world because you're with the person that you're following. And then, out of the blue, Jesus says something to you. Who do people think I am? Now, that's not your typical chat that you would have along the road, would it? It's not small talk, is it? This is a defining question. This is a question that cuts right at the heart of everything. And I mean everything. Who do people think that I am? And you can imagine the disciples at this point probably stumbling to say something profound. Well, some think you're the John the Baptist. And another one kind of like blunders and says, Elijah. And then Jeremiah. And all the rest of them probably ran out of names and said, some other prophet. It looks like a list of the people that people celebrated, those celebrities of the Old Testament, and just John the Baptist in the New. It was someone they recognised, but it makes you think, doesn't it? They never recognised Jesus and who he was. And then, as we heard, Jesus said, who do you think? Who do you say I am? Individually. He's not worried about the crowds. He's not worried about the masses. He's worried about that individuality of one particular person. You. I wonder how they answered him, because we only have one answer. And that came from Peter. Good old Peter. We get to know Peter in the Gospels, don't we? As someone that normally puts his foot in his mouth. He speaks before he engages brains, like some of us. And Peter says this: you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. This is just not a nice compliment that you pay to someone, is it? It's a declaration. It's a declaration that changes everything. Peter is not just saying that you're a great teacher, or you're a great miracle worker, or you're a great prophet. He is saying, you're the one we've been waiting for. You're the one, the promised deliverer from God. That's what Peter is saying. God in the flesh. You're the one that we have been waiting for. Now, if I said something like that to you, you'd probably think I was crazy. But Jesus, he doesn't laugh it off. He doesn't correct Peter. Instead, he says something even more mind-blowing. He says, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh or blood, but by my Father in heaven." See, Jesus is saying to Peter, you didn't figure it out on your own, you know. God opened your eyes, Peter. And you saw who I really am. And then he goes on. And I tell you that you, Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. That's an interesting verse, isn't it? Because there has been debates for many, many a year, many a 100 year, of what does this really mean? Jesus said to Peter, Peter the rock. Was he talking about Peter himself as a person? Or was he referring to Peter's confession of faith? Well, I think it's both. Yes, the church isn't built on Peter the man per se, but on the truth that Peter proclaimed, that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of the living God. And is this not the foundations of our faith? Everything we believe and everything that we do as Christians flows from this truth that Jesus is the Son of God. And if Jesus isn't who he says he is, we might as well pack up and go home, haven't we? But get this. He is. And if he is, he changes everything. Let's get back to the disciples, shall we? He starts talking again, and then he kind of like throws another curveball into the mix. They're probably feeling pretty pleased with themselves of what Jesus had said. And then he goes on, doesn't he, and talk about Jerusalem and the suffering and being killed and then rising from the dead. I mean, just imagine the confusion in Peter alone, let alone the rest of the disciples that heard this. One moment he's proclaiming that he's the Lord of all, and then in the very next moment he is saying that he's going to be betrayed, almost. He's speaking of his death. I don't think the disciples thought that the Messiah was going to die. They thought he was going to be triumphant in this life, their life, overthrowing all the oppression that they were under by the Romans. And then Peter comes to the fore again. He's probably still pleased with himself because of what he said and what Jesus said to him. And then Jesus takes him aside and starts to rebuke him. As in Peter, "Never, Lord. This shall never happen to you." And then Jesus, I think, delivers the most harshest rebuke anyone got in the Gospels. "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely the concerns of humans." That's what he's saying. Ouch. Peter, who has been raised from the dust of the earth to the heights, and then whoosh, back down again. From hero to zero. Hero to zero. I can imagine that Peter probably walked away with his tail between his legs. And then we are told once again that he gathered his disciples, and not being concerned of the other 3 bombshells that he's let off previously, he lets another one off. Whoever wants to be my disciple, in verse 24, must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. Now, when we hear take up your cross, we might think of like a minor inconvenience in our life, like a flat tire on the way to work, or someone ignoring us because we said the right thing, but they didn't take it in the right way. Or maybe, just maybe, you may get a chuckle or a laugh because you told your peers that you went to church. But to Jesus' audience, this was no laughing matter. This wasn't a little inconvenience. It meant death. The cross meant death. Jesus was telling them, if you want to be my disciple, you have to deny yourself and carry the cross. If you want to follow me, you need to be willing to die to yourself, to your old ways, and even to your ambitions. And then he says a statement which is a bit of a paradox, isn't it? Whoever wants to save their life will lose it. Whoever loses their life will find it if they follow me. I wonder, how often do we think of these verses in the light of our own walk with Jesus Christ? How often do we realize what the early church went through? I wonder. So that's the passage. What does this mean for us then? What does it really mean for us today? See, for us, we have to ask some questions. Who is Jesus really? Well, it's a question which is crucial to wrestle with, because if we just read this passage alone and other passages in the gospel, we have to read it in light of Jesus' identity. Who is Jesus? This gets personal. We have to ask these questions ourselves and go beyond opinions of others and the belief of others and the critics of others. You see Peter's declaration in Matthew 16, where he identifies Jesus as the Messiah, the Son of God, encapsulates the profound nature of that recognition that we all have to have. He is the Messiah. He is the Messiah. Jesus is not just a good teacher. He is not just a miracle worker. He is not just a prophet. He is the Son of God, who came to save us and to love us and to give us eternal hope. John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Understanding who Jesus truly is forms the foundation of our faith. And what does Jesus really mean for us today? Well, there's a cost, isn't there? There's a cost in following Jesus. Because often, to be a Jesus follower or a disciple of Jesus, we have to, and we will, and we might be, and all of the above, be led into uncomfortable situations, like we looked at last week when Jesus went into the wilderness. Luke 9:23. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. This call to self-denial may involve a bit uncomfortable moments. No. Suffering and sacrifice. Paul said in Philippians 1:29, for it has been granted to you on behalf of Christ not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for him. It's that paradox again, isn't it? We live, but we have to die. But we live in Jesus Christ. And then we come on to what does Jesus really mean for us today? Well, he's the foundation of the church. It's not us. Just want to put that in there. We are not the foundation of the church. Jesus is. Jesus is. Because the church is not established on human wisdom, is it? Or even our own strength. But on the revelation of Jesus' true identity. Do you get excited about that? Because I do. Because there's no other religion, no other faith that has Jesus as their cornerstone. When we understand and embrace who Jesus is, we celebrate the solid foundation of our faith. The solid foundation of the church. Christ himself is not just a prophet. He's not just a good teacher. He is the cornerstone of everything that we believe in. Amen. And the fourth one, what does it really mean for us? Well, we have to live a life of self-denial. Take up your cross. Does not signify a life of misery. Oh no. Rather, it's a life of purpose and of fulfillment. Because Jesus is with us. He teaches us, doesn't he? Whoever wants to save their life and live has to deny themselves. Embracing this call allows us to find significance in this world that is dark. This significance transcends everything. Everything. Romans 12:1 encourages us to present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. Because it is our true and proper worship. In denying ourselves, we discover a richer and deeper meaning to life. Because it is forged in Jesus Christ, who he was, a servant. He did not come to be served, but to serve. And that is our call as well, to serve others and have a relationship with God. So as we wrap up this message this morning, truly understand and follow Jesus means that we have to constantly and consistently recognize who Jesus is, his identity. The fact that when we commit ourselves to him, we move into a journey that serves him. And it may be a little bit uncomfortable. You see, we have to acknowledge, don't we, that Jesus Christ is the foundational truth which the church stands on and which we stand on. And if we are to follow him as followers of the Most High, then we may need to embrace a life that is directed towards selfless love and the purposes of God. Who Jesus is changes everything. He's not just a good teacher. If he was, then we could take it or leave it when it suits us. But if he is truly the Messiah, the Son of the most living God, then we are to follow him and give him our total allegiance. The question Jesus asked his disciples is the same question that he is asking each of us today. Who do you say that I am? So what's your answer? What is your answer? If you don't know the answer to that question, then we are going to do a course at the end of April called Alpha. And it will allow you to journey into understanding what I have said in 20 minutes a little bit better. So if you don't know who he is and you want to know who he is, then please go to our website and sign up. And we will be so pleased and rejoicing to tell you about Jesus. Amen. If you have been using a computer to view this service, you can help us to grow this channel by doing 3 things. Please press the like, subscribe and the bell. This will get you a notification of when we post our next service. It will also help us grow within the YouTube community. Thank you.